Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Nobody wants to talk.
Yep, sure can.
Nice.
Oh,
So let's go to Kelly Nickel for a second. Kelly, we're going to answer your question to the group. Kelly asked a great question. Now, what I'm about to answer for Kelly, some of you are going to go, no, you're wrong. Oh, no, you're absolutely wrong. And in your mind, you're right, I'm wrong. And I don't care. It's an alternative. Kelly, what was the question that you emailed me or texted me earlier today?
should we put the seller's net sheet in the pre-list package? And how should we display the commissions?
So, what did I text you? One single word.
Nope.
I don't put the net sheets in the pre-listing packet. Now, I can put a blank one in there, but history tells me that there are times I need to use the net sheet to get the listing. But there are times the net sheet costs me the listing. People buy on emotion, not on logic. A net sheet is logic. Now you can tell Beth doesn't like this answer. See how she left the camera? She's like, no net sheets. I'm out of here. I'm kidding, Beth. I'm sure you have to go to the bathroom or something. Okay. I'm going to do what it takes to get hired. A net sheet doesn't get me hired because a net sheet gives an analytical answer, and that's logic. Yes. So Kelly, you and I have known each other for quite a while. Say to me, well, Steve, how much will I net?
Steve, how much will I net?
Well, we're selling your house for 500. The commission will be about 30. You'll have about $2,200 in closing costs. The state of Virginia wants $1 per thousand, so that's about $500. Title fee about $425. We're looking at about $34,000. So before your mortgage, you're going to net about 465, maybe 466. Let me ask you, you net about that money. Will that allow you to move up to Gloucester, to be on the river, to be with your sister in Matthews?
Maybe.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
But here's the deal, guys. The second I do a net sheet and I have a final number, isn't that how they define me? Okay, we met with John Gray, Terry Dusler. Did I say that right? Dusler? Terry, did I say it
It's
correctly?
Duclair, hi.
Duclair,
Terry
my
Duclair.
apologies.
No,
Okay.
you're good.
That's close. Anyway,
You were close.
we met with John, Terry, and Kelly. What was Kelly? Oh, Kelly was a net of 420. Terry was 421, and John was 423. Oh, I like John better. Most of our competition is going to do a false net sheet. Said if you do a real net sheet, yours is going to be less. However, I can pre-sell this, Kelly. Many of the sellers that we work for, like you, because of our marketing plan, we get multiple offers. And if we get multiple offers, will somebody pay you more?
Yes.
So is it possible to sell the house for 525, 530?
Sounds good.
Will your net be a lot higher?
It will be.
So a net sheet isn't important. Now, guys, listen to me on this one. Kelly, when you hire me and we get you that contract that you've been waiting for so you can move to Gloucester, be near your sister that in Matthews County, will you expect me to do a net sheet for you then?
Yes.
To show you what they offered, the total cost of that offer, and how much you get at closing. Will you expect me to do that for you?
Yes.
And if you're not happy with how much you get at closing, do you have to take it?
No.
Because you own the house, right?
Yes.
You're in control, aren't you?
I am.
We're going to net you every dollar we can. Any other questions? Now, guys, that's smooth as butter, yeah? When you hire me and we bring you the offer so you can motivation. Tom Falloon, did you hear that? See, I'm bringing the story all together. That's emotion. Will you expect me to, future pace, as your agent, do a net sheet for you? Well, yes, to show you the offer, total cost, our commission, more importantly, how much you get at closing. Will you expect me to do that for you? Yes. And if you're not happy, do you have to take it? No. That word no, as Beth knows, allows them to feel like they're in control.
Mhm.
Americans have to say no to something. It gives them a feeling of control. And
Mhm.
Tim, up in Canada, Canadians are the same way. You guys all have to say no to something like, do you want to move to a more warmer climate? No, I'm happy in Canada. Makes you feel like you're in control. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I ended it with 2 yeses because you own the house, right? Yes.
Mhm.
So you're in control, aren't you?
Mhm.
Yes. We'll net you every dollar you can get. And I prefer not to do a net sheet because you do a net sheet on an offer that's not there and your net is $1 less than Terry's. They hate you, don't they, Kelly?
Mhm.
And it's a fictitious net sheet, guys. Made up. Last week, Watson, excuse me, I came back to my house in North Carolina 1 week too early. There's still pollen up here, isn't there, Kelly?
Yes.
I usually come back the week after the pollen goes away. Not very bright. I'm coughing my lungs out, yellow pollen everywhere, so I apologize. We had a 2-day event, and I wrote down some key highlights on this event. We offered it live stream to a lot of people. We had a lot of people pay for it. It was a wonderful live stream. A couple things I want you to know. Sam DeFastano, who I coach, Sammy and I have been working on his open houses. Did any of you guys, Kyle, you saw his open house presentation, yes?
Mhm.
Kyle, take us off mute for a second. Tell everybody where you're from so they can send you the referrals you deserve.
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
So what did you learn from Sammy's presentation on how to do an open house in 2024?
Um, we need to look at open houses more than just one dimension in getting buyers. It actually is able to get you more listings through exposure throughout the neighborhoods. And what Sammy does really well is he gets up with his partner Cooper at around 5 and does around 50 improvement signs in the area.
How many signs did he put up?
Over 50.
Did you guys hear that number? Now, they're not the heavy A-frame signs that weigh 20 pounds each. They're the light wire, H-wire, corrugated signs. And on every corner, how many did he put up? Simple thought. Every stupid agent, not you guys, drives to the stop sign, puts a open house sign next to the stop sign, and that's their only one. And then every time a car is at that stop sign, the cars coming from the left can't see the open house sign. They put the open house sign in that little island at the beginning of the subdivision. And then the little HOA monitor, because the guy or gal couldn't make it as a hall monitor in elementary school, runs out there. You're not allowed to put an open house sign on our community property. And they pull it off. But you got to put 2 across the street. The main road 2 miles away, put 4 up there. Nobody's coming to your open house sign, open house. But you've got a main road with 10,000 cars going by a day. Kyle, describe Sam's open house signs.
He has, like I said, the wire signs, but he also has the what's it called? The huge
We'll
like
get off
banner.
the flags for a second. His open house directional signs. Whose name was big on those open house signs?
His name, not the company.
He's not advertising the company. He's advertising Sammy. 50 open house signs covering 4 or 5 square miles of every major road. Nobody in that part of town doesn't know who he is. And of course, when he's on the phone pre-selling the open house and after the open house, Kyle, did everybody know who he was?
Yes.
You do that 2 or 3 times a month, guys. Major. Kyle, thanks for jumping ahead. What did he put in front of his open house?
What do you mean? Elaborate on that.
Big, you were about to say it, the big signs.
Oh yeah, like the big banner signs with his name on it, and yeah.
A feather
Sammy
flag.
DeFastano open house.
Yeah, that thingy. Yeah, that
And he
thing.
puts them up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Does the seller think, Kyle, that he wasn't doing everything to bring buyers to that property?
Yes.
Guys, with the NAR changes that are coming down and we don't know which way they're going, one of the advantages of holding open house is when a buyer comes into your open house, we don't have to sign them up buyer agent to show them an open house. Just a thought. I saw Joe Sharon on here somewhere. Joe, where are you, Joe?
I'm here.
Hey, there you are. Apologize.
Yep.
So, Joe, we went over objection handling, but we did what we thought was kind of fun. Could you try describe to this group what we did from the objection handling part?
What did we do with the objection handling part? Well, we went around the room with various objections and people from the table was able to handle those two objections. But
So, if you guys don't understand, Joe's a driver, so I asked the wrong person because his details are a little lacking. We had a whole bunch of tables. Every table wrote down the objections. We picked the best objections. We put 2 on every table that wasn't theirs. We just arbitrarily said, here's your 2, here's your 2. Then we gave them 2 minutes to decide who the spokesperson was and how they wanted to handle the objection because everybody had it different. And Joe, what did you learn when you were listening to the people handling objections?
what did I learn? Some people went a little bit longer. Other people were real direct and just handled it.
Beth, you were there. What did you learn?
I learned that there's more than one way to handle an objection, and you have to handle it in their behavioral style, and that I need to practice my objection handlers more.
Our clients are some of the best clients in North America. And Gordon, I, and Sydney said, we got to work harder on this. So I'm going to go back to Tom because Tom looks like it. Tom, do you play golf?
Are you talking to this Tom?
Not Tom, yes.
All right. Occasionally.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can tell. You can see he plays golf. You can always tell a golfer. So,
Huh.
Tom, you're 200 yards out. You hit the ball in the bunker. What do you and your caddy do as you're walking up to the bunker? What do you do?
I start assessing, what my next shot will be.
What else? Keep going.
And what obstacles, if any, might be in the way for my ability to get to the green.
You walk over in the bunker, you look at your lie, see if it's a pancake lie, a hard lie, uphill, downhill. Then you walk on the green to see where you want to land. Then you go and figure out how you're going to do this. That's golf, right, Tom?
Right. You
That's not
much better
objection
detail
handling.
than I do, for sure.
I'm sorry?
You gave much better detail than I did.
Well, what I was hoping you'd say was after I hit in the trap, I yell the word F and then bitch and moan all the way to the sand trap. But that's not what you do, but that's what I do. But see, golf and objection handlers are not like that. When a seller gives us an objection, I want to wait. I want to think about it. I'm going back to my old agent. I don't know you. We don't have the ability to stop for 2 minutes and think about what we're going to say. Objection handling, guys, is like tennis. All of a sudden, the objection comes at us at 100 miles an hour. We have to react and hit it right, which requires practice and practice and practice. So, Tom, are you married, partner?
Yes. Yes.
Which one? I don't care.
I'm married.
Nice. So when you and your wife reconnect on your anniversary, and I mean that politely, and you lean over and say, honey, how was that? And she goes, that was good. Did that kill it, Tom?
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah. When the seller says, what's your commission? And you go, you killed it. What do you do to sell my house? We have to be like tennis guys. We got to practice. So one of the things I wrote down was we as professionals must commit to a higher level of practice than we've ever practiced before. Let's go to Andrea. Hi, Andrea. I always try to pick the people that don't want me to call on them. So look like you want me to call on you, and then I won't. So hi,
Okay,
Andrew. Tell
I'll work
everybody
on
where you're
that.
from so everybody can send you the referrals you deserve.
What did you say that again?
Right.
Where are you from so you can get referrals?
I am from Beverly, Mass, which is north of Boston, North Shore.
I lived in Amherst, went to UMass.
I know.
Nice. So Beverly, tell us about your role playing on a daily basis. What do you do?
I just have a set script that I use and just do that every day. I don't know really what you're looking for me to say.
Well, what you did was perfect. The answer was absolutely normal that everybody else went, yeah, that's what I do. It's the same thing. So Beverly, and only Beverly, can I elevate you?
Sure.
From this minute forward, only role play for 20 minutes. Not 30. Get yourself one of those white, cheap wind-up timers. Set it for 20 minutes. And role play, no talking. So pretend we're role playing. I'm going to call you. Ready, Andrea? Hello, ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Andrea, I'm going to do expireds. Ring, ring, ring.
Are you calling? Hello? I'm like,
Hi, Andrea. Steve Powers, EXP Real Estate. Your home, blah, blah, blah. I'm in it that fast, Andrea, aren't I? Within 10 seconds of the first phone call, I'm already in my script. Is that what most of us do? No, we warm up. How's it going? How was yesterday? I'm thinking about doing something different. And then we role play one script and talk for 8 minutes. Then the other person does one script and we talk for 8 minutes. Oh, we only got 6 minutes left. There's not enough time to do a role play. Let's go to John Gray. John Gray, where you from so everybody can send you a referral you deserve. You gotta take us off mute, John Gray. What?
Oh, sorry, Steve.
That's all right. It was you were looking like you've never taken it off mute. You had that look
No,
like.
that's not true.
Where you from, John?
Actually, Andrea works for me. We're Beverly, Mass area. We've got 6 offices.
Nice. So, John, what does a sparring partner do in boxing?
Probably practice.
So, if Muhammad Ali had a sparring partner, what does a sparring partner do for 3 minutes when the bell rings?
Oh, challenges the other person.
They get the shit beat out of them and they try
Yep.
to beat the shit out of them. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we need to do role playing.
Mm.
So, John, we're going to role play, but hey, ready? We're going to role play the scripts 1 day a week, John. And what do you
Okay.
think we're going to do the other 4 days a week?
Probably actually use the scripts.
No, we're going to practice objection handlers.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, John, 4 days a week, we start role playing at the last line of the script. So I would say, no, you say to me, give me the last line of any of your great John Gray scripts.
So are you ready to sign the contract, Steve?
No, we need to think about it.
Really? Tell me what you need to think about, Steve.
That's a big decision. We need some time.
Yeah, I understand that. Were there any questions that I didn't answer in my presentation this morning?
You were fine. We just never make a decision on the first day.
Anything I can do to help you make that decision, Steve?
No.
No.
Come on, John, you got 3 more minutes. Keep going. Hey,
You got me. Yeah, I
you
know. I
know
got
Tom
I'm dead.
on his anniversary date. You and Tom got that down pretty good, huh?
Yeah, we do.
So, John, I threw you in it, and I appreciate you doing this. Guys, if you want to get really good at handling objections, 1 day a week, practice your script because you got them down. You printed them up. You got that. 4 days a week, being a sparring partner. Use the last line of your script, and for the next 3 minutes, tell your role play partner, no, 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 no. No, like you're married. And if you need any coaching on the word no, call my wife. She holds a class every other Friday night. John, in your company, how good would your company be if 4 days a week for 20 minutes, all you did was work on objection handlers?
Oh, I think we'd be great.
That's where all the money is, guys. Spend a lot less time on the scripts. You got them. The money is in the objection handling. And do 20 minutes, Andrea, because 20 minutes is enough, yes? So, Andrea, remember I said we have a white kitchen timer? I get the one that makes that little click, click, click sound, so I know my life is going by. I don't want you to use your phone. It doesn't have the audio. You turn the clock away from you. Andrea, you and I go at it like sparring partners for 20 minutes. When that timer goes, goodbye, I don't care who's talking. It's over. Like a sparring partner. Andrea, how good would you be if you and I role played like this from the beginning of your career? I'll take the nod as a little better, right, Andrea? Now,
A lot better.
a lot better. All the money is in the close. That's where the appointments are. John, that's where the signatures are. So, John, elevate your entire company. Make this an SOP. Everyone's going to be awful at it, yes? In the beginning. Anything worthwhile, we're awful at in the beginning. But that's how we get better. Number next, George Langford, you were there. We had a gentleman that worked for Gordon who did a listing presentation. Now, I'm going to say something, and I love my partner, Gordon Watson. I don't like his presentation. I don't like it at all. It's different than the one I do. It's a PowerPoint. I have no desire to be on a presentation with a PowerPoint. Although I love money. Now, I'm really good at real estate. Kelly, you and I worked together. We had 700 agents in the company. I was number one for a lot of years, wasn't I?
You were. Mhm.
That and a dollar gets you a dollar. I was really good at listing presentations. I got 72% of my listing presentations. That's a pretty good number. Yes, guys?
Yes.
The guy with 2 years experience on PowerPoint is taking 82% of his listing presentations. So George, I was watching it with two eyes. One, I don't like this. The other is, I'm an idiot. You can't argue with success. And one of the reasons his presentation was so good was for the seller. It was clear, concise, and believable. So whether you like a PowerPoint, and I'm beginning to like it because I like the results, or you have a different presentation, the numbers don't lie. The darn thing works. What did you learn about that one, George?
We overthink the listing presentation way too much.
What do you mean?
Like, keep it straight to the point. Like, sometimes we want to go down this rabbit hole of talking about ourselves or our companies or whatnot. It was very concise in the beginning. This is who we are. This is what your home is worth. This is the comps. Sign the paperwork. So it was precise to the point. It was clear and concise.
It was clear and precise. But one of the things I really appreciate about Joey, and guys, please understand something. He's not a professional speaker. Public speaking is like one of the biggest fear we have as human beings. And he got up in front of not only all the people in the room, everybody on live stream. And I think at the end, George, wasn't it like everyone in the entire world was watching our live stream? So you had like 8 billion people watching, right?
So you said, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Do you know what kind of guts it takes to do a live listing presentation in front of your peers and the world? I thought he rocked it. I thought he was nothing short of, I don't think I could have done as good a job.
You did a great job.
He was clear, concise, not rushed it. Each point was given so they understood it, and it built momentum. A great listing presentation is a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. He wasn't all over the place. He had a nice flow to it. So I urge you guys to look at your presentation, and they all work. But make sure that you're practiced and polished. Terry, have you ever been to a Cirque du Soleil theater?
Yeah, all the time, actually.
Are those people pretty polished?
Well, yeah, they're on point.
Within 1 minute, you know you're watching professionals, don't you?
Yes.
Do they feel the same way about your presentation?
Yes, I hope so.
Well, the word hope means there's something you want to work on, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone, understand everything we do is to get on that presentation, yes? Why is it that we don't practice the most important thing we do in real estate? Let's go down to Ben Johnson in Chicago. Hello, Ben Johnson in Chicago. So Ben, what's the last listing appointment you went on? What day?
I have not been on one yet.
Okay. So it's going to be easy because without having been on one yet, you're a virgin. And this is exciting because you can't get anything wrong now. So Ben, you need to practice your objections because here's the deal. Now, our good friend Sohail's been on hundreds, if not thousands of these things. But here's the thing. Sohail is going on an appointment tomorrow night, and that seller is going to give him an objection that he hasn't had to use since December. How good do you think he's going to be if he hasn't practiced it since the last appointment in December that they said they need to pray on it? Or we have an agent who will do it for 1%. Or we told our neighbor we'd meet with them before we sign. Which, guys, other than Ben, is this a normal type of objection?
Yes.
So Ben, remember the Chicago Bulls?
Yeah.
Steve Kerr played in an NBA Finals game with a clear mask because Michael Jordan broke his nose in practice. And the reporter said, "You guys are in the finals and he broke your nose?" "Yeah." "What happened?" "Well, Michael Jordan during practice, there's no referees. Phil lets him run crazy up and down there. He's elbowing me like crazy. And I told him, you do that again, I'm going to punch you in the face." He did it again. I punched him in the face. Well, then what happened? He broke my nose. You guys are fighting in practice? Steve Kerr said, "You don't understand. Our practices are 10 times as hard as the game." So Ben, you're relatively new to real estate, yes?
Yeah.
Practice your listing presentation 3 times every week. Once you get your presentation down, practice it 1 day a week and practice objection handlers for 30 minutes twice a week. The most common 6, 8, or 10. Because Ben, I don't want you to be on an appointment tomorrow night and the last time you had to answer the objection was in December because you haven't practiced. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Let's go to wonderful Beth. Beth, we talked about perceived value. What did you learn about perceived value?
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Does Mercedes-Benz charge
Oh, yes.
$140,000 for a
Yeah.
car?
People pay it because they see value. And I think we have to do a better job of communicating our value to the customer. And I think the media is communicating a different value than we are. And I think we're going to get paid to the extent that we are able to communicate the value that we bring to the transaction.
Could you say that again? Because that's one of the most powerful points I've heard in 3 weeks. Say that last part again. Guys, really listen to what she just said.
The media is portraying a different story about our value, and we are going to get paid to the level that we are able to communicate that value.
We had a major lawsuit, NAR. They threw out there July 15th, every buyer has to be a buyer agent. There's 2 types of agents. Those that are pulling the covers over their head going, "I don't want that to happen. This isn't right. Please make it go away." And the people that we coach that got out of bed and started attacking. Because it's not going away. As of July 15th, theoretically, Beth, every buyer has to sign a buyer agency agreement, yes? And I
Yes.
use this joke all the time. A year ago, Babs with the glitter cleavage and essential oils could get hired because she could say to the buyer, oh, let's go out and look at property. I'll have glitter cleavage. I have a lockbox key. I've got optimism oil for us. And the seller will pay my fee. And they would work with Babs with the glitter cleavage to go buy a house. Now, the buyers are going to be saying, there's a high probability that I got to pay your fee. What am I getting for my money? Tell me what you're going to do for the fee I now have to pay you. In the case of 3% of 500, I've got a cost of $15,000 for you to open a lockbox. You better come up with more value than that. Perceived value. Neck down. From the neck down, I can look good. I can buy a shirt, can buy the jacket, I can buy a nice watch, I can buy nice shoes, get my fingernails done. Neck up, I work with what God gave me. Neck down, totally in control. Here's a thought. When you go, Christina, how you doing? Yeah, I waited till she took a bite of cereal or something, then I'll ask her a question. Christina, what kind of car do you drive?
Tesla.
Tesla. Is that a great real estate car, guys? When a seller sees you pulling the drive in a Tesla, they understand that you're a little cutting edge, that you get technology, which is what they want, right, guys? You go to $1 million listing appointment and a 9-year-old Camry with a hubcap missing, they're not hiring you. Perceived value. So, Christina, I say this with love. Can I ask you a question?
Always.
Is the inside of your car immaculate? So when the seller walks to your car to meet you when you come in the driveway and they look in your car, are they going to see a perfect
Yes.
car?
Yes.
You hear that, guys? Not even a hesitation. Yes. Can
And I have
everybody on
white
the-
crisp seats that keeps
Say it
their
again,
bottoms
please?
warm.
What's that?
I said I have white crisp seats that keep their bottom, and I have a seat warmer that keeps their bottom warm.
And guys, it's not like she's single. She's married to that good-looking guy two up above. Not Tom. Not that you're not good-looking, Tom, but Sohail. That's her wonderful husband. She has a white seat car and she has kids. I bet you even have animals, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And her car's clean. So the question is, when a seller walks out as you drive in their driveway and they get to look in your car, are there McDonald's wrappers? Is the windshield dirty? Are there files on the floor? Because if you have files in your car scattered, what do they think that you're going to do with their files?
Disheveled,
Perceived value.
organized.
You guys want to have a little bit of fun? My son, who is a sarcastic son of a gun, and I don't know where he gets that from, he has a nickname for me. Can you guys see the name on that pen?
No.
Well, that's a rooster.
It's too close.
I know, but
Back a little.
his nickname for me is, and it's based on the rooster, Cock Goblin. It's awful. He gave me an iPad. It's awful. Can I bring this pen on a listing presentation? Can I bring a pen that's chewed up, that I cleaned my ears with? And yet we do, don't we? We walk around, I need a pen, I'm going on a listing presentation. Guys, this is the most important thing. You're going to be pointing to a listing presentation. Should you have a high quality document signing pen? Now you can get a nice cross one for about $35. We use TULs so that when we get to the house, we take out the two pens and we make this noise. Can you guys hear that? Little click, click. And we put the two pens on top of the listing presentation, the listing agreement. Then I use my nice Mont Blanc pen to point to the listing. That's value proposition, isn't it? How can you expect someone to sign a $2 million listing with you with a 19-cent chewed up Bic? If you're a man, make sure your shoes are shined. The back of your shoes cannot be worn down on the sides. That means you've worn them out. Get yourself some listing presentation shoes. Make sure the back of your heels aren't scuffed up. Ladies, you always look at a lady's back of her heel, and if that thing is all chewed up, you know she ain't got any money. And yet when you're walking up the stairs on a 2-story house, the seller's behind you looking at your heels. All this is perceived value, right, Beth? It's a package. Write their names on the folder big and clean and clear so they can see their names. People love their names. Perceived value. That's the key to this whole thing. Not that I am sticking on Beth, but Beth, you're right in the center of my screen, so that's why I'm talking to you. Beth gave a great presentation on how she shows a house. Beth, could you give us like a 2-minute condensed version of what you said? Because I thought it was the best thing I ever heard on how to properly show a house in 2024. Could you describe in an abbreviated version how you show a buyer a house? Because we're all doing this.
Well, I think it starts at the listing, at your buyer consultation, to understand their motivation and getting really clear at the consultation that this is what they're looking for. And then as you're at the house, walking through the house, to take the questions that you're asking. I mean, obviously you're showing up early, you're turning on the lights, you're doing all of those things that we already know we're supposed to do, but you're going back to their motivation. So Paolo, you mentioned that it was important that you guys had a nice level yard because you like to play soccer. He's Italian. How does this yard work for as a soccer field, right? Or you said you needed an extra bathroom for the baby that's coming. Does this bathroom configuration work for your family? So it's discovering their motivation at the buyer consultation and then taking all of your questions back to how does this house work for what motivates them? And you may have to have some expectations clarification. They may not be able to get all 8 things on their must have, but we got to get them in the right order to see if they can get only 6 of these and it's these 6, is that going to be okay? But it's all going back to their motivation for why they want to move.
What I loved about what Beth does is that Beth doesn't talk about what she likes in the house, which is what most agents do. Oh my God, these cabinets are like the same cabinets I have. I picked that same color granite.
They don't care.
And Beth makes it all about the buyer. Beth, talk about cameras and Alexa. You killed me with the Alexa thing. That was the first time I ever heard that. Tell us about when you counsel the buyers, because every house has a camera in it. What do you tell the buyers about the cameras? And tell everybody what you do with the Alexa.
I just tell the buyers that, you know, in this day and age, most sellers have a Ring doorbell, and many times their curiosity gets the best of them, and it's likely that they're probably listening. And people can listen through security cameras, they can listen through Alexa devices. And so as they come to the house, hopefully I'm already in the house. And if there is a security camera, I'm just able to point to it and just say, oh, hey, by the way, say hello to the seller. Sometimes if I'm in a multiple offer situation, I will actually hit the doorbell and actually say to the camera, hey, Mr. Seller, thank you so much for, letting us look at your house. And regarding the Alexas, if I go in the house and we're standing in the kitchen and I see an Alexa device in there, I'll just press the little red button on it to turn off the microphone so we can have a conversation without the device listening.
So simple, so brilliant. Do you see what experience does, guys, for our profession? Some of you have teams. You should probably play this last 2 minutes of what Beth said to your teams, because I thought it was brilliant. Honestly, Gordon and I were sitting there going, we are the dumbest person on the planet. How come we don't know this stuff? But we do now. And now you guys do, yes? So we had a 2-day event. It was all skill-based. We went through a lot. It was given on live stream. We're editing now. If you're in Watson Powers Coaching, sometime by Monday, you're going to get the rough cut director's view. We're just going to cut some of the stuff where the camera was facing the wrong direction or something. But you'll get the whole thing in 2 days. The rest of it will be available in a couple of weeks. We're going to download sections, each one like Wonderful Beth, Debbie Craft below. did a great presentation on rent versus buy and the cost of waiting. And one of the great things, I coach Debbie, she's one of the greatest mortgage officers in the United States. She has a simple way to show the buyer the cost of waiting and how much they lose. And so if you want, call Debbie Kraft. You can look her up. It's just like the cheese, Kraft. She's in Utah. But she has a wonderful app to show the cost of waiting and a rent versus buy. And Debbie, I'd let you talk, but we're running short of time. But the great thing is that the agents learn there not to get really good at rent versus buy, not to get really good at the cost of waiting. Put that on your loan officer. Let your loan officer carry that burden. Because when we try to convince a buyer the cost of waiting, when we try to convince a buyer rent versus buy, we have a dog in the fight. So they think we're trying to only push into one way. When they hear it from somebody wonderful like Debbie, they believe it. And then you get a much better buyer. So our next event is in September. It's available on our website. It's the 23rd and 24th in September at the Prince of Scottsdale. It's the same place where they play the Waste Management Open. That's going to be more about being a leader, running a business, how to start a team, how to make a profit. If you don't have a team, you're welcome to come. We're going to teach sound real estate business principles, where to buy leads, how to make money, etc. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for putting up with this rough voice. I know I sound awful, but thank you for not chastising me for it. I apologize for it. Blame North Carolina. They didn't get rid of their pollen early enough. Questions, concerns, issues before we go away? Nope. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody who participated. This market is going to be a lot of fun if we're willing to work and get much better at our job. There's going to be a big chasm between those that know what they're doing and those that are in real estate. We're going to be the group that knows what they're doing. Never before has it been so clear that we have to get so much better at our job. Because you guys heard this, 10% of the agents make 90% of the money. My feeling it's going to be 5% make 95% of the money. Let's be in that 5%. Okay, guys? Thanks for
Thank you.
Thanks,
watching.
Thanks,
Steve.
Steve.
Thank
Bye.
you.